Hey everyone, welcome back to Receipts Ready. This story is absolutely unhinged. I, 26F, am currently sitting in my bathroom pretending to have morning sickness while my ex-boyfriend Jake, 28M, makes me breakfast downstairs. I know this sounds insane, but I faked a pregnancy to win him back, and now everything is spiraling out of control. Let me give you some background. Jake and I dated for 3 years, and I was convinced he was the one. We talked about marriage, kids, the whole thing. Then 6 months ago, he broke up with me completely out of nowhere. He said he needed space to figure himself out and that we wanted different things. I was devastated. For months, I tried everything to get him back. I showed up at his work, sent long texts, even went to his sister's birthday party uninvited. Nothing worked. He started dating this girl, Emma, 24F, from his gym just 2 months after our breakup. Seeing them together on social media was killing me. That's when I came up with the most desperate plan of my life. I texted Jake saying I needed to talk urgently. When he called, I told him I was pregnant. The silence on the other end lasted forever. So Jake immediately broke up with Emma and showed up at my apartment that same night. He was shocked but said he wanted to do the right thing. I felt terrible lying to him, but I was so desperate to have him back. Within a week, he had moved back in. He was being so sweet and attentive, everything I had missed. He started talking about getting back together officially and even mentioned marriage. For a few days, I actually convinced myself this could work out. But then reality hit. Jake wanted to come to doctor appointments. He bought pregnancy books and started downloading baby apps. He told his entire family and they all started calling to congratulate me. His mom even started knitting baby blankets. I had to keep making excuses for why he couldn't come to appointments. I said my doctor only allowed solo visits during COVID restrictions. I was Googling pregnancy symptoms constantly and pretending to have morning sickness every morning. I even bought fake ultrasound pictures online. The lies kept getting bigger and bigger. Jake started baby-proofing the apartment and researching cribs. But here's where everything got really complicated. Emma started texting me. So Emma had gotten my number somehow and was sending me these long messages about how devastated she was. She said Jake had told her about the pregnancy and completely ghosted her afterward. She was heartbroken and confused because they had been so happy together. Reading her messages made me feel sick with guilt. This girl had done nothing wrong and I had ruined her relationship with my lies. But I was in too deep to back out now. Then Jake started getting suspicious about little things. He noticed I wasn't actually gaining any weight at what should have been 12 weeks. I made excuses about having a fast metabolism and morning sickness preventing weight gain. He seemed to buy it, but I could tell he was starting to have doubts. The worst part was how excited he was becoming about being a dad. He would talk to my stomach every night and had already picked out potential names. He started working extra hours to save money for the baby. Watching him be so happy about something that wasn't real was eating me alive. 3 weeks into this nightmare, Jake announced he had scheduled us a surprise appointment with his family doctor. He said he wanted to make sure I was getting the best prenatal care possible. My blood went cold. So I completely panicked when Jake told me about the doctor appointment. I tried every excuse in the book to get out of it. I said I was comfortable with my current doctor and didn't want to switch. But Jake insisted, saying his family doctor had delivered dozens of babies and was the best in town. The appointment was scheduled for the following Tuesday. I had 4 days to figure out how to get out of this mess. I considered faking a miscarriage, but the thought of putting Jake through that kind of pain made me sick. I was trapped in my own web of lies. Meanwhile, Emma kept texting me asking if there was any way she could talk to Jake. She said she just needed closure and wanted to understand what had happened between them. I kept telling her to move on, but she wouldn't give up. On Sunday night, Jake was talking about converting the spare room into a nursery. He had already ordered paint samples and was sketching out furniture layouts. Seeing him so invested in our fake future was torture. I realized I couldn't keep this up much longer. That's when I made another terrible decision. I decided to tell Jake I'd lost the baby after the doctor appointment. I thought I could fake some symptoms beforehand and then blame the stress and trauma. But Monday morning, everything fell apart. So, Monday morning, I woke up to Jake on the phone with someone in the kitchen. I could hear him talking excitedly about the baby and giving someone our address. When I came downstairs, he had this huge smile on his face. He told me his mom was driving 4 hours to visit us because she was so excited about becoming a grandmother. She wanted to take me shopping for maternity clothes and baby items. She was arriving that afternoon. I felt like I was going to throw up for real. Then my phone started buzzing with notifications. Emma had found Jake's Instagram and was commenting on all his recent posts asking him to call her. She was getting desperate and her messages were becoming more frequent. I was scared Jake would see them and start asking questions. Around noon, Jake's mom arrived with bags of baby clothes and a bassinet she had driven 3 states to buy. She kept hugging me and crying happy tears about finally having a grandchild. The guilt was overwhelming. This sweet woman was spending her retirement money on a baby that didn't exist. That evening, while Jake and his mom were assembling the bassinet, my phone rang. It was Emma. I thought about ignoring it, but something made me answer. What she told me changed everything. So, Emma was crying on the phone telling me she was pregnant with Jake's baby. She had just found out and didn't know what to do because Jake wouldn't return her calls. She thought he was ignoring her because he didn't want to be with her anymore. She had no idea about my fake pregnancy. I felt like the worst person alive. Here was the girl who was actually pregnant with Jake's child while I was lying about carrying his baby. The irony was devastating. I couldn't take it anymore. I walked into the living room where Jake and his mom were setting up baby furniture and told them everything. I confessed to the fake pregnancy, the lies, all of it. Jake's face went through every emotion possible. Confusion, anger, hurt, betrayal. His mom started crying and packed up all the baby items without saying a word to me. Jake just sat there in silence for the longest time. When he finally spoke, he told me I was the most selfish person he had ever met. He said he could never trust me again and that what I had done was unforgivable. Then I told him about Emma being actually pregnant. He looked at me like I had just destroyed his entire world, which I guess I had. He left that night and I haven't heard from him since. Emma texted me yesterday saying they're working things out and she's grateful I finally told the truth. This whole situation could have been avoided if she had just accepted the breakup. Instead, her desperation destroyed multiple lives, including her own. At least the real couple can work things out now. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for being here.